is the Rockstar Robbie Gilmore, Booker T's Reality of Wrestling, and you are listening to Houston Wrestling Radio.
Hey there, this is Tex Lone Star from Doomsday Wrestling.
And this is Dr. Samson.
And you are listening to Houston Wrestling Radio with Travis and Abel.
What up, what up, what up? This is ACH Ring of Honor Superstar, letting you know that I am in tune with Houston's Wrestling Radio, letting you know that it's over 9,000!
Hello and welcome everyone to the 34th edition of Houston Wrestling Radio. This is Abel.
This is Travis.
And man, do we have a packed show for you today. We have a lot of stuff to go over. As we've been advertising for quite a while, Comicpalooza was this past weekend, and boy, we had a grand old time, didn't we?
I'm tired, but yeah, I had a great time.
Yeah, I would imagine you were. You seemed pretty tired there on your second day. In fact, you left early, but you looked worn out.
George R. Brown is a very big convention center.
Yeah, yes, it is.
And when you're using the full spectrum of the stage there, it's on two different floors.
Oh, yeah.
It wears out on your legs a little bit.
A little bit. And, it was the same with me. But I only went one day, so I wasn't as exhausted as you were.
Man, you got there, you got your ticket, you walked in there, I turned around, you're already gone. You're sitting on a bench over there. You're already huffing and puffing over there.
Oh, get the hell out of here. I walked around quite a bit, thank you. That was my exercise for the year.
That's being generous.
Yes. All right, enough fooling around. Let me let the listeners know what you can expect from this episode, because like I said, it's a packed episode.
Okay. All right.
We got all the Comicpalooza stuff to talk about, Doomsday, NWA, Houston Roller Derby, meeting Scott Steiner.
What?
And hey, we actually have an interview with Scott Steiner.
We do.
Yeah, and we'll play that for you here soon. Also, after that, we got a lot of stuff to talk about WWE and Impact. And then, this upcoming weekend is Ring of Honor. We're also interviewing ACH, ROH superstar and local Texas indie guy. So, man, we got a lot of stuff to get to. So, let's go back to the top of the list there, and as we were talking about Comicpalooza. What can you say, as far as what you liked about it, how, aside from complaining about walking around all day,
Well, it's not a complaint against the convention or anything. The convention was great.
Okay.
I've been going to Comicpalooza for the last, at least 3-4 years, At least 3 years for sure.
This was my first year.
Yeah. And it's been growing leaps and bounds. This is the biggest it's been, I think it was like Saturday afternoon, like around between like 1 and 2, 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
There were still people lined up just to get in. So, just how packed that was on Saturday.
Yeah.
And, like I said, George R. Brown is just a huge convention center, and nothing was blocked off. So, you had a pretty good walking space to get to one place to the other. But they had tons of activities, programs, programming, panels. Like I said, a lot of celebrities were there. And Patrick Stewart, Michelle Rodriguez, Danny Trejo. A lot of people. A lot of other people.
Did you meet all three of those?
Oh, I
you
didn't.
just mentioned?
I didn't meet them. I mean, it costs money to meet them. So
yes.
yeah. So, but I met a couple of really long time comic book writers and artists that I've always liked. So that made it. I mean, that was all I wanted really. So
okay.
And thanks to Comicpalooza, I was able to do that. So, but one thing that separated, like I said a couple weeks ago, one thing that separates this Comic Con from other Comic Cons is they do other activities, they do other events. Like in this one they have wrestling.
Yes.
And roller derby. So we checked out the wrestling scene.
We did.
What do you want to go over first?
Well, before you jump on into that, you don't want to ask me how my experience was?
No, not really.
Oh, okay. Well, fine then.
But for other people out there, just who might want to know, go ahead.
Okay.
How was your as a first time Comicpalooza visitor? What was your take on it?
Oh, well, thank you for asking.
Don't mention it.
I really liked it. It was really cool. We spent a lot of time just kind of looking around at all the little vendors that were selling different things. Because there was an area for vendors, and there was an area for people that you meet, and then an area for artists. And we spent a lot of time in the vendors thing because Randy, my girlfriend, her sister and sister's boyfriend, they're really into Magic the Gathering, and they've been trying to get me into it. So I was like, well, maybe kind of look around, see if I could buy some stuff. So I did. I found some neat little nerdy things for Magic to buy. So I bought some of that stuff, and then
That's what you're supposed to buy at any Comic-Con. You're supposed to buy neat, nerdy things.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what it's there for. And there was a lot of other neat, nerdy things that I wanted to buy, but, I'm not made of money, so to speak. But, another thing that was really neat, that I ran into was a booth where there was a guy named John who was selling some comic books that were, about wrestling, and it was called Nightmare Pro Wrestling. I thought it was pretty cool. So I bought his, little book there, and, I started reading it last night. I haven't, gotten through all of it yet, but maybe once I, get done, we'll talk about it a little bit more here on the show. But it was awesome meeting that guy. And, I think that kind of transitions and shows that there's a little bit of that crossover there with the comics and the wrestling. And, okay, now, we can get into the wrestling part if you so, like to.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. Well, then let's start off with Doomsday then.
Doomsday.
Yes, Doomsday Wrestling. You were there on Saturday, and I was there on Sunday. Well, you were there for Sunday also,
Yep,
but why don't we start off with you with what you saw with Doomsday on Saturday?
Saturday was was a good show. Saturday was. I'm going to start off by saying it was. I don't want to say rehash, whatever, from the last show we went to a few months ago. Over at Numbers Nightclub.
Textravaganza.
The Textravaganza. There was basically, these matches, these times there's only an hour, so they can only do so much.
Yeah. It's a mini show.
Yeah, it's a little mini show. And they kind of summarize Textravaganza in one little hour. So,
okay.
The cool thing about that was I brought along a friend who's never heard of Doomsday. Mm-hmm. So it was kind of cool to see the initialization of them seeing Doomsday for the first time.
The indoctrination.
Yes, yes. What can you say when you see Calendar walking out? You know, the 10-foot dude with the power glove on. Anyway, so he got a kick out of Hot Flash too. So
yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, yeah, Hot Flash was there also on Sunday. And I got to see her wrestle the original son of a bitch.
Yes.
And that was a rather interesting match. Hot Flash doing all of her funny moves, and the original son of a bitch trying to be a heel and just really be mean and nasty and beating up the old lady.
The original son of a bitch doesn't have to try to be a heel.
Oh, he just naturally is,
because he's a son of a bitch.
Yes, he is a son of a bitch. But I missed this because they didn't wrestle on Sunday. I missed the gentlemen. They wrestled on Saturday.
Yes, they did.
Tell us about the gentlemen wrestling. Who did they wrestle?
The Fabulous Bunny Boys.
They wrestled the Bunny Boys.
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
Well, things got a little out of control, as things seem to do in Doomsday.
Uh-huh.
A little bickering back and forth between Hippity and Hoppity.
Uh-huh.
Little pan was used. Eggs were hatched from uncertain areas from the Bunny Boys. And
you could say, Travis, from their shorts.
Yeah, sure, okay. Yeah. But the gentlemen, they came out on top.
What? The gentleman won?
Yes.
What? Wow, that's awesome. I really wish I could have seen that.
Okay.
But on Sunday, when I was watching, the gentlemen weren't wrestling, but they were ringside and were enjoying the show, like the rest of us, like us regular common folk. But we did see the Bunny Boys in action, and they were taking on Little Dickens in a 2-on-1.
For the title.
And, I really like how they started to go into the ending of that match, where it was like the Bunny Boys, already 3/4 of the way into the match, finally realized, wait, who's going to get the pin and actually win the title? Right. And then they started, of course, like the Bunny Boys always do, bickering and arguing with each other and hitting each other with, various moves and whatnot. And so they imploded and Little Dickens got the win. But then Little Dickens got attacked by the original son of a bitch. That son of a bitch, he did it again. So that is setting up for their next show called Headlock on My Heart, which will be on the 15th.
Right.
Yes, on the 15th at Numbers Nightclub. So that was pretty cool seeing that they're, took some of the stuff from the mini show, and like you said, on Saturday, kind of incorporated stuff from the month's previous show, and then on Sunday, they kind of started already building towards the next show coming up this month. So I think that was pretty cool that they did that way.
Yeah, very cool of, Tex to pull that off, to kind of get a little,
teaser out there?
Yeah. A little bait, for fans to go to the show on June 15th at Numbers Nightclub.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else we want to say about Doomsday?
No, I mean, that's,
I got a bumper sticker.
Did you?
Yeah, I put it on I put it on Randy's car.
I got a refrigerator magnet.
Yeah, I see it.
Yes.
It's right there.
Yeah, it's on my refrigerator right now.
Yes.
Yeah. You're welcome, Tex.
Wait, shouldn't you be saying thank you, Tex?
No, you're welcome for, I don't know, whatever.
You're advertising here in your house.
Exactly.
For all the foot traffic you get here in your house.
Yeah. And they're recording the podcast and we're talking about it.
Oh, okay. There you go.
That too, right?
Hopefully we'll have those guys on here soon and, talk to them again. Try to...
Yeah, we talked to them. I was talking to them on Saturday. And
yeah.
I participated in the Doomsday Creative Wrestler.
Oh, you know what? We almost skipped right over to that. Yeah, tell us about the Creative Wrestler panel.
Well, it was Tex, Dirty Sanchez, Father Superior, Hot Flash, the Distinguished Gentleman. They're the judges, It was basically Texas handing out a lot of templates for various body shapes, and you just and we had to we did our own creations on the paper. We had to use crayons.
Really?
Yes, we
Crayola.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Of course. Yeah.
He sprung for the
nothing but the best.
Top shelf right there.
Yeah. So my creation didn't win, but I actually
what was that,
have
Travis?
I have the video up on YouTube, and I put it on our Facebook page. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you can check that out at facebook.com/Houston Wrestling Radio.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And on our YouTube page.
Mm-hmm. Yes, youtube.com/Houston Wrestling Radio.
I don't know.
How is our...
Just do a search for Houston Wrestling Radio and click on Abel Travis. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. That's us.
Or just go to our Facebook page, and you'll see the link on there.
Okay. So just to clarify, I thought I heard you mutter it there. Your creation did not win.
Well, if that's what you want to say.
Okay, that's all I wanted to...
If you want to be a jerk and point it out.
Well,
you weren't there to do anything.
I know I wasn't.
So, hey, I was, on the spot there trying to create, so...
tell me, what did you come up with?
Well, now, he could still use it.
He could,
so,
the kids from Tough Enough, the one that wins, it's never the guy that takes off. It's always the runner-up,
Yeah.
Yeah, so... What was your
runner-up? There were some good ones in there. You know what? I was going for kind of a parody of Samoa Joe, and I did Italian Joe. And he was a pizza delivery boy, and if you got mad, or he would get mad if you didn't tip him.
Ah, yes.
And so he'd get a pizza cutter and attack you with the pizza cutter. And his finisher was the hot slice.
Ooh.
Or the pizza slice, or whatever. I don't know what I called it. I don't know. It's written in crayon on a piece of paper somewhere that Tex has. I don't know. Go ask him.
Okay.
Anyway, he didn't choose it. So
yeah, I could see why. Anyway, let's move on.
I hate you.
I know. We got to see the girls of Houston Roller Derby. They had a couple of little bouts out there. And, there was a little interesting twist there. And you didn't see any of their stuff on Saturday, did you? No? Okay, well, we watched on Sunday. There was an interesting little twist going on there. They had a little bit of a co-ed match. And what was funny about it was that there was two husband and wife couples. One husband and a wife couple was on the same team. But then there was another husband and wife couple that were on opposite teams. So that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, I was watching the match and I saw there was a couple of guys and I was like, wait a minute, I thought it was just women.
Yeah, it normally is, but on Sunday we got the co-ed.
That's the kind of things you get at Comicpalooza, folks.
Yes, you get the co-ed Houston Roller Derby matches. That's how great Comicpalooza is. But, no, it was...
Man, are they paying us for this?
Huh?
Are they paying us for this?
I don't know. Maybe they should be. Anyway, it was pretty fun. Great bout. Nice to see them out, and they're going to be having some more bouts here pretty soon. And they are also starting up their junior league. I saw that on Facebook today, so you can check that out on Facebook.com and just do a search for Houston Roller Derby, if I could say it. And then, of course, you can also follow them on Twitter at Hugh Roller Derby, HOU Roller Derby.
Right.
All right, so let's move on to NWA.
Okay.
You did not see the show that I saw, and I didn't see the show that you saw. So, let's again go in order. How was the Saturday show?
Saturday show was pretty good. I'll admit, watching the show, I was talking to a couple friends, so I wasn't really paying attention to like the ring entrances and all that stuff. So I can't really tell you who wrestled. Mm-hmm. But there was a couple tag matches, and in between there was a lucha style fight, between two young guys fighting out there. Eric Shadows, I think.
I think he fought on the show that I saw. Eric Shadows, yeah.
And another guy he fought, kind of very similar body style.
Downfall, I think his name was, or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said before, it's they kind of reminded me of Rey Mysterio from '95. There's a style, the way they're styling and the way they look too. So, but anyway,
so they were high flying and doing all kinds of crazy moves.
Definitely the I don't want to say the spot fest, but it was the highlight of that show.
Okay,
until the main event.
Until another spotlight that I'm sure you're going to get to.
Yes, the main event was originally Scott Steiner.
Steiner
coming out since he was at the convention. Anyways, we got him. They got him to wrestle the main event, and they start the match, and then there was an interruption.
Okay,
three guys came out. Like I said, I didn't catch their names. One was a cowboy gimmick character. One was from Booker T. RW. It was Jasper. The Hammer.
The Hammer.
Yes. Well, he's not the Hammer in NWA.
He's just Jasper Davis.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I was like, hey, I know that guy. No. But they how can I put this nicely? They made Scott Steiner upset.
They pissed off Steiner.
Yeah, we'll say that.
Okay. And we all know what happens when you piss off Steiner.
Yeah, he likes to get on the mic and talk about it.
And he did.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Care to elaborate, sir?
Well, he got on the mic and proceeded to tell those guys what he thinks about them and that they should be in the ring in a not so family friendly way at a family friendly show.
Nice.
Is that good enough? Can I say?
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm sure that there's already videos circling.
Oh, there is. Yes.
Yeah, I believe. Who did I see post that today? Was Aaron?
Yeah, it was Aaron.
Yeah, our friend Aaron. He posted it up on his Facebook page. So I'll see if maybe I could share that onto our page so that people can see the profanity laced promo. Which sure, it wasn't appropriate for what should have been a PG show, but still, hey, it's Steiner being Steiner and just being entertaining in his own special way. So
there you go.
There you have it. Okay, we will have our interview up for Steiner here, but before we get to it, I just want to talk a little bit about my experience from NWA. There was a guy that I was really impressed with, and his name was Raymond Rowe, Rowe. This guy was really cool. I really liked him. He was doing a lot of high-impact suplexes and throws, and I just really liked the guy. Of course, I was sitting there next to our buddy Aaron, and Aaron turns and he tells me, hey, you're going to like this guy. And I'm not saying that just because he said that, but, he just knows me or whatever, I guess, and he's like, hey, you'll like this dude. And sure enough, I did. He had a pretty good match, and I really enjoyed it, and I like to see more stuff out of him. Maybe if we go to more NWA shows, check him out and, see what all he could do. And I thought it was pretty awesome. He just did there was one thing he did. He did a German suplex, on his opponent who was, Carlos Baines, I think it was his name. It was Baines, but I can't remember his first name. But, he picked him up off of the ground to do a German. So it wasn't like just a German where you're both standing. Like, he lifted him and then did the German all in one motion. And that was pretty cool. And I think he also threw in a like a Tazplex and, other various suplexes that I thought were just really, really nice. And, that's a style that I really like that I don't see a whole lot. Just, high impact suplexes, kind of like Taz and Samoa Joe, those type of things. And I was really entertained by it. So I just wanted to put that guy over because he impressed me.
All right, that's what we do around here.
That's what we do. So, hooray for NWA. It was a, pretty good show. So, ta-da. So now,
There you go. Okay.
with all that being said and all that out of the way, we went down and we met Scott Steiner. Mm-hmm. And you got his autograph. Actually, you met him on Saturday, and you got the autograph made out to Houston Wrestling Radio, and you got to, talk to him for a little bit and his agent, and set up time for us to talk to him the next day, where I showed up, and we basically recorded the following. So if you want to go ahead and listen to it right now, let's fire it up and play the audio.
Before we play the audio,
okay,
I just want to let the viewers know we cannot talk about WWE. We cannot talk about TNA. There's other things we're not allowed to talk about.
Yeah.
And he was in the middle of signing autographs and stuff in the way. So not the longest interview, but
yeah, it's a pretty short interview. I mean, like you said, he was there to sign autographs. He was sitting there in an autograph
but
booth,
he was.
so,
I mean, it was very cool of him to just kind of let us do that just for a few minutes.
Yeah. And for all of the shit talking that goes on about Scott Steiner, with us, he was really friendly. He was really nice to us. And I think it shows in this interview. We were just kind of getting along and chit-chatting, and he seemed really mellow and really nice, for us right then and there.
Right then and there for those few minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, let's go ahead and fire it up and get right to it then.
Hello everyone, this is Abel from Houston Wrestling Radio, and we're recording here at the George R. Brown Convention Center at Comicpalooza. And as we had said before on our show, we advertised that Scott Steiner is going to be here, and here he is, and he's been so gracious enough to just give us a minute of his time. So, hey Scott, thank you so much for coming down here, and thanks for granting us a little bit of this interview time.
Oh, no problem, man.
So, how's it been going down here in Texas? You been enjoying your stay?
Yeah, I've been to Texas a lot of times, through the years with WCW and WWF, WWE, so I know the area pretty good, so,
Cool.
Houston's a good wrestling town. As far as taking some pictures of some of these guys at Comicpalooza is pretty humorous, I saw two people yesterday in actual underwear, outside their clothes. So.
And they weren't in a wrestling ring?
No. It was down here. It was some character I never seen before, so I had to take a picture.
Great. So people over here trying to get autographs and pictures with you, and you're taking pictures of them.
Yeah, it's like as long as they're having fun, I guess they don't have a mirror in their house,
Yeah. So, Scott, let me ask you, how you been doing ever since that surgery that you had last year?
Oh, when I almost died in Puerto Rico?
Yeah.
I'm still numb, I think. They basically sliced me in half, with my lat, and they went through my lung, opened me up, and then sewn up the trachea. So, but it's still, numb and stuff and sore, but it takes time. I don't know how long, I don't know if that will ever go away, the numbness, so. But yeah, I'm fine as far as I won't be winning no bodybuilding contest with a half a lat,
Yeah. Well, but you're still in ring shape. I mean, you wrestled last night. Are you still taking bookings and stuff?
Yeah, I'm still. I mean, that's what I do. I beat people up, So.
Beat people up professionally.
Yeah, that's right. When they stop paying me to beat people up, I'll stop.
Well, don't beat me up.
I won't.
Oh, okay, good. Thank you.
Unless he pays me.
No, Travis. How much? No. Travis doesn't have any money. He ain't paying nobody to beat up anybody. I work at a bank. Yes, I know. Yeah.
How much? Oh, you work at a bank?
He's just a teller. He's all right, cool. So here's a question that's just kind of been burning in the back of my mind. How's your brother been? I haven't seen him in forever.
He's doing good, actually. He hasn't wrestled on, TV, but we're actually going to the UK Wednesday.
Okay.
We have 2 matches in the UK and then 1 match in Amsterdam. I think that match. Yeah, the match in Amsterdam I think starts at 4:20. So, what are you laughing for?
Oh, 420 Amsterdam. Yeah, it makes sense.
I know what the fuck I'm saying.
Scott Steiner, ladies and gentlemen. Cool.
So yeah, it'll be pretty cool.
Cool. That's awesome. I would like to, just say that I think it's really cool that you're still wrestling after that major surgery you had in Puerto Rico, and it was really great seeing you down here at Comicpalooza. Hope to see you again soon.
All right, man.
All right.
All right. Thanks for coming by.
Thank you.
All right. Take care.
So that was our interview with the one and only Scott Steiner, the big bad booty daddy, Big Papa Pump. It was a little bit short. I wish we could have had more time, but like I said, he was sitting there in the middle of Comicpalooza with people all around us and people wanting to get his autograph or whatever. So it was really, really cool that he, gave us that time. I thought it was just awesome.
And when he says, let's do it really quick, we do it really quick.
Yeah, we did it quick. So, yeah, I mean, he was, a little bit intimidating.
A little bit.
Yeah, So that's that. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and who knows, maybe someday we'll get to run into him again and maybe have a longer interview. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's transition from that and talk a little bit about the regular stuff we normally talk about, WWE, Impact. After that, we'll kind of get into ROH and the ACH interview, and then we'll start wrapping it up from there. But let's go ahead and talk about WWE a little bit for this week, okay?
Okay.
All right, let's do it. What do you want to start off with?
Well, what's the big story for this week?
Well, I think there's a couple of moderately big stories. Let's just start with this. Let's go with Cena and Ryback. Why did I say it like that? Ryback.
I don't know.
Cena and Ryback. There you go. They're gonna have a 3 Stages of Hell match. What do you think about that, Trev?
That's different. We don't really see that much 3 Stages of Hell.
True.
So.
We were, and when I say we, I mean the IWC and us also. We were talking about this several weeks ago before Triple H and Lesnar were having that match. I believe, was it at Mania? No. It was before they announced the cage match, I believe. We were saying, oh, well, why can't it be 3 Stages of Hell? Didn't we bring that up?
I think so.
Yeah.
I can't remember anything from a week ago, so.
Yeah, it's been a crazy week.
If you said we did, we'll say
we did. At some point during the Triple H and Lesnar feud, we said, hey, well, why didn't they make one of those matches of 3 Stages of Hell? And we didn't get it, but now we're getting it. So that's kind of cool. I mean, maybe they heard the rumblings, WWE heard the rumblings of wanting to bring back 3 Stages of Hell. Maybe that's why they decided to do it, albeit for the wrong feud, but still. How do you feel about it being Cena and Ryback doing 3 Stages of Hell, though?
Well, it is what it is, People are going to hate on Cena regardless.
Yeah.
Ryback, it's just another monster heel, going against Cena, And I don't know. I'm digging Ryback a little bit more now. He's kind of dropped the catchphrases and stuff, and he's just more of a...
He's just pissed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of digging that a little bit more. As like I said, it's pretty much it. Cena's match is a Cena match, Now we just get 3 of them instead of 1.
Yeah. Well, 3 in 1, yeah. This 3 Stages of Hell is a little bit different than the other ones, is it not? We're going with a lumberjack match. What's the second stage?
Table match,
and then a ambulance match. The other 3 Stages of Hell, it was a little bit different, wasn't it?
They normally have either ladder matches or steel cage involved.
Yeah, I thought there was a steel cage or a Hell in the Cell.
Yeah, well, it's not the same all the time. That's the whole point. You can change it up however you want,
I thought traditionally it was a certain mix of 3 matches, but I guess I'm wrong.
Yeah, you are.
Oh, okay, I'm wrong. I like how you just smile and light up whenever I'm wrong.
I love it. Yeah. Anytime I'm having a bad day, I just wait for you to say something stupid and wrong.
Gee, thanks. I can really feel the love here. God, you're such a jerk. All right. Do we think that this is going to be a good match?
That's 3 Stages of Hell?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Probably not.
like I said,
Is it because it's Cena and Ryback?
You could say yes, but then again, I don't know. I want to say that, people are going to hate on the match regardless because it is Cena. Mm-hmm. But then I look back at past instances where it was Cena and Punk. And
they pulled off good
matches. And then people are like,
well, the match with Cena and Ryback at Extreme Rules was, pretty decent.
Yeah. And then you got, stuff like as far as the outcome goes. Well, we're just feeding another heel to Cena to beat. But look back a couple years, to a TLC pay-per-view, Sheamus was a heel.
Yeah.
And he beat Cena for the title.
Yeah, it was a tables match.
Right.
It was a cheap win with the table, but he won nonetheless.
That's not the point. The point is a heel beat Cena for the title.
It's true.
And if they really wanted to do it, for a build-up to SummerSlam, they could have Ryback just go and beat Cena so that the face is chasing the champion to the next big pay-per-view.
Right.
Which would be, SummerSlam. Well, we have Payback. Payback, and then is there anything in between Payback and SummerSlam?
SummerSlam's normally in August, so there's going to be something in July.
Yeah, okay.
I think it's been Capital Punishment, but I think they're changing the name.
And hopefully, I never liked Capital Punishment.
Yeah, that was. I don't like that name.
Too gimmicky.
Yeah.
No, but that's the way I would see it. I would see give the belt to Ryback.
Okay.
Especially going off with the fact that he's been kind of chasing the belt for a while, but he's always getting screwed out of it.
He's been chasing the belt since October.
Yeah.
That's when he had the match where he lost to Punk because of Brad Maddox.
Maddox, yeah. So, so yeah.
You do that every time.
Consistency, man.
Yes.
No, but, so I say just give the belt to Ryback, see what he can do with it, just as a heel, and then give it back to Cena at SummerSlam. Because that's, generally what you want to do, right? You want to have the face.
You want to have the face chasing the title. The problem with Cena chasing the title is that, he's a face, but he's only a face with half the audience.
That's not the point.
Okay.
No, the point is he's a face. He's the face of the company, so he is the baby face. So
okay.
There you go. That's my take on that. What's next?
All right. Well, nice to see you're all satisfied and wrap that up in a nice, neat little bow.
Oh, did you have an opinion on that?
No. Other than generic, Cena sucks. I can't believe she deserves it.
That's why I knew you were going to say that, so I didn't even bother asking.
Okay. Well, there you go.
What's next?
Let's talk about Punk versus Jericho.
Is this going to happen?
I believe so. Heyman said it was.
He shook his hand.
He shook the, and
That's
you know Heyman's word is gold. You shake that man's hand, it may as well already happen.
That's legally binding contract.
Yeah.
But does CM Punk know that?
Maybe not. They were talking about him, sitting at home watching Raw, and actually he wasn't. He tweeted that he was at a baseball game. He tweeted a picture from the baseball park. So no, he wasn't actually sitting at home at Raw watching Raw at the time. So yeah, you know what? He may not know.
If he didn't know then, he knows now.
Yeah, he knows now. So, whatever. Let's get to the, actual point of it. The point is, it looks like we're going to get Punk to come back, and it looks like Punk's going to have a feud with Jericho, which I'm all for it.
Well, what was, did it seem kind of random to you that
yes,
Jericho just called out Paul Heyman and, I mean, it was cool that someone called him out to say, hey, where's Punk?
Yeah, that's someone.
It's been 6 weeks, where's he at?
Yeah.
What are you going to say?
No, I was just agreeing with, I was just going to agree with you. Yeah, it's kayfabe wise, anyway. Yeah, well, what the hell? We still don't have a quote unquote explanation. Of course, non-kayfabe wise, we know that he just needs some time off to heal, whatever. Yeah. But, according to storyline, we don't know why
he
Punk
just walked
left.
away.
He just walked away.
So he did that promo a few weeks ago and he just walked away.
So it makes sense that somebody who has a talk show would like to get to the bottom of it, and thankfully it was Jericho.
And not Miz.
And not Miz, okay. So it makes sense storyline wise, so I don't have a problem with it, even though it does seem rather random.
But hey, if this gets Punk back on TV, then yes, exactly. If this gets Punk back on TV, great. And if it gets Punk versus Jericho,
Great. I was not a fan of the WrestleMania match from 2 WrestleManias ago. I thought the match could have been better. I had higher expectations from it. Maybe I just overhyped it in my own head, and it just didn't live up to the grandiose expectations
Well, like
I had
said,
of it.
yeah, your Mark brain just blew up when they announced that match.
Screw you, Travis. But I thought, if they're going to redo this might be pretty good. Give them another chance to, put on a really great match and see how it goes. And I know both of these guys can go in the ring, and I'd like to see it happen again. So
Yeah, me too.
That's a big bonus there.
There you
All right. Next point of business. If you're done on that, anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about Curtis Axel.
Okay.
Curtis Axel had another match with John Cena.
Man, he's like 2-0 now. First he win against Triple H, now against John Cena.
Yeah, he beat Cena, albeit count out.
No, the record book shows.
A win's a win, baby.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's 2-0, so that's pretty cool. I'm really pulling for this guy.
Do you think that's a good sign of things to come for Curtis Axel?
I think so.
He has a win over Triple H and John Cena.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's indicative of the fact that they probably believe in him, right now, at least in this iteration of Joe Henning's career. And I really hope that they go with it. And I'm pulling for the guy. I'm coming around to him. I like him. I love Mr. Perfect. And so, hey, why not? I'm really behind it. Although I was a little perturbed that they remixed his music from last week to this week. It's not as... See, we talked about this last week also, that I wanted them to remix it, but to have the old Mr. Perfect music be more pronounced. But they went and did the opposite. Now it's less pronounced, and it takes even longer to get to it. And so...
They didn't read your notes right.
No. They screwed it up. They must have read my notes backwards or something,
Now, there's a couple things about his matches. On SmackDown, he fought Sin Cara.
Right.
Did you see his little
With
finisher?
the mood lighting. What the hell?
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
Right. The finisher that he did.
Yeah.
It was like a sling throw, what he did on his arm.
A sling running neck breaker thing. And,
Yeah.
he used that when he was teaming with Otunga.
Oh, he did?
Yeah,
Okay.
that was his finisher when he was with Otunga.
I can't remember that far back. So.
Yeah. Well, I did, and when I saw that, I was disappointed, because I was like, oh, come on, you're going to still use that finisher? And I thought that finisher was kind of lame.
Yeah, you can't pull it off against anybody, and it's such a set-up move.
He's not going to do that to Mark Henry or Kane or Big Show.
It's kind of like, it reminded me of the C4, Paul Burchill's little move he used to do, where he would go back and he'd do like a total flip. It's like, it took 2 people to do the move. And that's the kind of move that move reminded me of.
Okay.
Such a setup move, But, cut to Monday, he didn't do that move.
No, he didn't.
He did a perfect plex.
He did do a perfect plex to Super Cena. And Super Cena kicked out at 2. But it was a perfect plex nonetheless.
Cena was going to kick out regardless of what he did.
Yeah,
so
I know.
Don't worry about that. The fact that he did it.
I just remember that there was like a time when nobody kicked out of the perfect plex. Nobody. And then Bret Hart did. And when he did, it was like a big deal. Bret Hart was like the first one to kick out of it. And it was like, oh my God, I can't believe he kicked out of the perfect plex.
I shouldn't have to explain to you, times are different now.
Oh, I know, but...
And this Curtis Axel, he doesn't go by Mr. Perfect.
I know.
So, he didn't apply it perfectly.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yes.
It was...
Yes. Now, see, now, wait, let me go back here a second. If they did what I said they should have done last week, which is have Paul Heyman introduce him and then just have him go against like just nobodies or
Sin Cara,
your Zack Ryders, your
Heath Slaters,
Yoshitatus, all them, and then doing the perfect plex on all those guys, and then start getting into maybe mid card, upper mid card, and then you finally get to Cena, and then or somebody to break the hold, somebody
to kick out of it. Yeah.
And that would have made it what you're saying,
Yeah, it would have meant more, and it would have been more like, oh, he's really paying homage to his dad.
But this one was, he just did the move. Was that his finisher, or was he just doing it?
I don't know. That's the thing. It was kind of in the middle of a match, but then again, it was against Cena, so it could have been a finisher, and Cena was just kicking out a finisher. We don't know.
Yeah.
I really don't like that running, swinging neck breaker thing that he does.
No,
so
I would imagine.
I hope the perfect plex is
Yeah,
what
I would
going
imagine
with.
it would be the perfect plex.
Yeah. All right. That's going to have to be just, another wait and see. Let's get a couple of more weeks under our belt for this guy. I mean, hell, it's just been 2 weeks.
And hopefully, going forward, he won't have any more matches that has some kind of opponent passing out or getting thrown in an ambulance or or fans breaking out in fights in the crowds.
Yeah, that was another thing. There was a scuffle in the stands.
Poor Axel, man. He's getting... Of all matches to get in a fight, it's going to be the dude that they're trying to get over.
Yeah.
Nobody's watching this fucking match.
Yeah. I kind of was a little distracted too.
I was too, because it was like everybody was watching what was going on.
Yeah.
I read later on, it involved like 3 or 4 people and they all got arrested or something.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, it was 3 guys and a large woman. So.
Okay, well there you go.
And all of them were arrested, so.
Damn Canadians.
Yeah.
Speaking of damn Canadians, it was Bret Hart Appreciation Night.
Damn Canadians.
Hey, you don't talk like that about Bret.
You just did.
Yeah, but I can, because he's my favorite. I could talk bad about him, because I don't mean it.
Damn Canadians.
Oh, here we go. So, okay, I tried to watch the Bret Hart Appreciation stuff on the app after Brawl, and I couldn't because the app wasn't cooperating with me. Did you get to see it?
Yes, I did.
How was it? What was going on? Was it good? Was it blah?
It's, they've done things like this before, but they never had the power of the app.
Oh.
to showcase it. Some of the things that you would see, like on bonus of a DVD or something, or after the cameras stop rolling, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Whereas basically, Jerry Lawler came out, just introduced, did a little tribute package for him. Bret Hart came out, he gave him a little plaque from the city of Calgary. Yeah. And then after that, they brought up Pat Patterson, Jericho, HBK was out there, and I want to say someone else. I don't know. So after that was over, Bret Hart made this long speech, and I'm sure it's on YouTube or whatever now. But then after that, all the roster came out and was just... Oh, Vince McMahon came out too. That's the other person I was thinking of.
Oh, it's just Vince.
Just Vince, yeah. And surprisingly enough, he got the biggest pop.
In Canada.
Yeah.
Where he used to be hated.
Yes.
Yeah.
After that, the roster came out. And then you see 2 people coming out, walking up to the ring. It was Natalya and Tyson Kidd. Yeah.
Nice.
Tyson Kidd, he's off the crutches. He's got a full head of hair.
Wow.
So
doesn't have that stupid little whatever the hell that was at the top of his head.
No. Yeah, you got that a long time ago.
Well, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. God, haters gonna hate. God damn.
I know. And the funny thing too is I like the guy.
God, you're an idiot.
I know.
Okay. So, that was a cool thing seeing the Hart legacy in there with Bret Hart. It would have been cool to see, like, Jim Neidhart or somebody else.
Yeah.
The Anvil coming out. I think that's the only person that's left. Yeah.
Yeah,
it is.
Mm-hmm.
So it would have been cool to see them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome stuff. Let's go on to the last thing I really want to bring up from WWE programming this week, and it was The Shield. Now, we always talk about Match of the Week candidates. We try to throw some in here and there.
They nail it every single week. I think they've been our Match of the Week candidates ever since they came out.
I know. Every time they have a damn match, it's a Match of the Week. So this week is no different.
There's 2 of them this time for me.
Yes. Well, I'll start off with one. Mm-hmm. Hell No versus Roman and Seth. Mm-hmm. For the tag team titles on Raw. I think that's a damn good match of the Week candidate. What's your other Match of the Week candidate?
I'm gonna say there was 2 from SmackDown.
2?
Yes.
Okay, 2 from
2! One was the 6-man main event that Teddy Long was oh so gracious into to put together on the spot.
Surprise!
Yeah, on the spot booking from Teddy Long. Mm-hmm. Where's Booker T, by the way?
He had surgery.
Yeah, no, but they haven't even mentioned that at all.
They mentioned it on WWE.com.
They did.
Yeah.
But as far as him being gone,
yeah, he's gone because he was having surgery and he's recovering.
Well, this is where they never said it on TV. But
yeah,
especially since they had that little storyline going with him.
I think maybe like a commentator might have said it or something.
I know if that's where that stuff. So anyway, so the 6-man tag was definitely a highlight for me. I'm also going to say the opening match was, D-Bry versus Swagger.
Okay. From SmackDown.
Yeah.
Okay, has nothing to do with the Shield, but all right, let's continue.
I just said there's 2 matches right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we were talking about the Shield. Oh, okay, right. Whatever. Okay, so D-Bry versus Swagger.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Which I must say about D-Bry, I'm really digging this new determined outlook. And my God, if this is so they're basically telling us before them losing the titles, that was Daniel Bryan not caring about the matches. That was him not being obsessive. My God, now he's just like on fire.
Yeah, that dude has super ADHD now, and he's pissed off about it. And
I'm loving it.
Yeah, it's really great. And yeah, that match was pretty good. Swagger versus D-Bry.
Just the intensity they brought to that match. And and the match on Raw, too.
Okay, so we're going to talk about Swagger versus D-Bry. And then the 6-man tag on SmackDown. And then the match on Raw, Hell No versus The Shield. What would you say is your pick for match of the week?
That is a tough one. Man, I was gonna maybe give it to the 6-man tag.
Okay.
I don't know why, but it was a good match, though.
Okay, I'm gonna give it to the tag match on Raw, mainly because of the amount of time that they gave to Rollins and D-Bry. Those two just in the middle of this tag match, they had a great one-on-one match. They just put on like a freaking clinic in there.
I was almost gonna say that one. Also, because of the fact that Hell No did a heart attack.
Yeah, they did a heart attack. Another really cool move that I was impressed with was that Rollins did a Mexican surfboard on D-Bry.
Yes.
And D-Bry countered it in the most amazing way you could counter it.
Well, if anybody's going to counter, it's going to be D-Bry.
Well, it's going to be D-Bry, but did you see the way he countered it? That was ridiculous. He just kind of did a sit-up with his knees. Like, it was weird. I don't know how to describe it. He just kind of powered his way up to a standing position and then jumped on him there to kind of get himself out.
Yeah, man.
It was crazy.
D-Bry's, man, he's not taking Ritalin anymore. And he can
D-Bry Unchained.
Yeah. Give him a title match against Cena.
Yeah. Well, what I said during the match, I said on Twitter, is that Rollins and D-Bry need to have a one-on-one feud, a long-time one-on-one feud sometime in the near future. That needs to happen because that little exchange that they had there in that match was just phenomenal. And that's my match of the week candidate, that tag match, because of those interactions there.
That's your candidate or that's the winner?
That's my pick.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'm still going back and forth between the 2 matches on SmackDown. Because D-Bry he was on fire in that match.
Yeah, versus Swagger?
Yeah.
I can't remember a whole lot from that match.
It's probably because you fast forward through it.
No, I didn't. It's just, it was a while ago.
It was before the weekend.
Yeah, because of the freaking crazy ass weekend we had. Okay, so the Shield, let's talk a little bit about this. The Shield they have all the gold, they're winning all these matches, they're doing all this high profile stuff, and they're just putting on epic freaking matches. How great are these guys right now? They could do no wrong. And even though they're they're not really breaking them up, but they're kind of splitting off Ambrose from the tag team of Rollins and Reigns. What do you think is going to happen here with this, at least in the near future anyway? Do you think, they're going to continue dominating, or do you think that they're building him up to knock him down, or what?
No, I don't think they're going to knock him down. I can see this. I can see Ambrose going singles, Rollins and Reigns going tag team, but at the same time, not really breaking them up. They still have each other's backs, but they're just doing different matches.
Okay.
Okay. Kind of like, Ambrose and Kofi on SmackDown. It started off one-on-one. Right when Ambrose was going to start getting attacked, that's when they came out and, saved him. They cost the match, but, that's the cool thing about S.H.I.E.L.D. They don't care about wins and losses. They're just there to hurt people.
Yeah.
So. Well,
cool. I'm digging it, and I hope they continue.
Yep.
Well, let's move on from one faction in WWE to a different faction in WWE. The Wyatt family, they had their first little promo or vignette rather, on Raw, and the internet exploded. People are getting all crazy for this, and we've seen him on NXT. I mean, we don't watch NXT all that much, but just a little bit here and there.
We're enough to be familiar with the gimmick.
Yeah, and I dig it. I think he's good, and their whole thing is good. But I mean, I'm not engrossed in it like some people are, where it's just like, oh man, this is the second coming or something.
Yeah, whenever I remember watching them on NXT, I thought, okay, it's different. I was expecting Husky Harris and not this Bray Wyatt character. Mm-hmm. But the whole setup they have with this little stable with the whole family, that's interesting. I wouldn't go, like you said, I wouldn't be all excited about it. I think what's got everybody excited about it, not excited, but just eager to see him, is the little promo package, the little vignette.
It was really
good.
It
was good, yeah. It's just enough to pique your interest to see, okay, what's going on here, The vibe that I got, maybe because I watched too many horror movies, was, just the old, not Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but, just the whole going out in the woods. Don't take that wrong turn,
Yeah.
Don't go to that cabin that it's been abandoned for 20 years. You're gonna see these people.
Yeah.
I kind of got that little horror movie vibe from them, but what do you think of it?
Well, I think, I kind of got that vibe too. But the first thing I thought of was two people, Skinner and Waylon Mercy.
I say more Waylon Mercy than anything.
Okay.
Skinner's that's totally different type thing.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was the first thing that I thought of, and I kind of like it. I like them. I know that I like Husky Harris, and I cheered for him, and I was pulling for him while he was still doing the NXT, where it was still a competition. I really like the guy, and I think this character could be interesting, but I'm not like on board 100% with it. I'm going to kind of just sit back, wait, and just kind of see what the hype's about. Kind of like the same way how we did with the Shield. When the Shield first debuted, we were, I wouldn't say apprehensive, but we were,
like I said, I'd never seen Ambrose before.
Yeah, exactly. I think we were a little bit more like, okay, well, let's see what these guys can do.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I am with these guys. Even though we've kind of already seen some of the stuff that they do or whatever, and we're familiar with the gimmick, I just kind of want to see where they go with it.
Right. And the way WWE does their intros to their characters, and when they bring in wrestlers that are already known, they look at it as they've never been around before.
Right.
So I try...
Hell, look at Curtis Axel.
Exactly. Well, I think they're kind of more lenient towards that, because he was on actual WWE TV.
Okay.
But...
All right, well, bad example, but continue.
But, well, no, that wouldn't be a bad example, because Husky Harris was on WWE TV.
Brodus Clay. Remember when he was first Del Rio's bodyguard?
Yes,
and then, now he's a Funkasaurus.
A year later, he made his return, yeah. So, but if they're coming from, indies or something like that, they've never existed.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So, for the cases of when they get repackaged, I try to look at it the same way.
Like it's a new creation.
Yeah, and I try to look at it through that point of view.
And I think that's why we're kind of like, okay, let's see what's going on with the Wyatt family
first. Yeah, not just say, oh, well, this is what's his face all repackaged. I don't give a shit.
I mean, because it's happened so many times before, and sometimes the repackaging is the best thing. I mean, I got another example: the Ringmaster to Stone Cold.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. So there we go. Basically, we're looking forward to seeing what these guys have to offer, but we're not fanboying all over it.
Yeah, because WWE, even though NXT is WWE, they could still bring them onto the main stage and still tweak the gimmick.
Yeah.
They don't...
It could be different than what it was in NXT.
Exactly.
And it could be better, it could be worse, depends how they tweak it.
I mean, look at, I don't know if this would be a bad example or not, but Big E,
Yeah.
He's a face, he was the face champion Is he still the champion over there?
I'm not sure.
I don't know. Anyway,
I think he is.
Anyway, he did the whole count to 5 thing for his pins and everything.
Yeah.
So he did a little different.
And they're kind of alluding to it, but they don't really do it now. But I still think that his character is kind of...
But see, like, that's what I'm saying. It's been tweaked.
Yeah, it's tweaked, yeah.
So, yeah, there you go.
Okay. Well, hurrah for a bunch of new blood coming into the WWE
This
scene.
this is a really good... If you think about it...
Yeah, think about that.
This is a really good time. And I think WWE's been smart to realize that.
Well, here, let's... We got Fandango, who's relatively new. I mean, yeah, it's just a couple of years old, but, you know, he's new blood. Fandango. Then we got Curtis Axel. We got Big E, like you were talking about. The Wyatt family. And then, well, if you want to throw in, even though it's been several months, you could throw in The Shield. You know?
Yeah, I'm definitely including that, yeah.
Okay, so they've really been bringing in... Cesaro. Yeah, they've been bringing in a lot of talent.
Going back a little bit further, as far as this young blood, you still got Ziggler, you still got Punk. You know, they're still the face of the future. Mm-hmm. You know, they may not be like new in the last couple months or whatever, but they're you're gonna, you know, this is taking care of WWE for a while.
Yeah,
you know, definitely. You know, and this is a good time. You know,
so it is.
If they can get rid of the PG era, that'd be. But I think they're starting to kind of be more lenient towards the PG stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
I've been seeing little hints of it here and there that they're trying to kind of get away with a little bit more than PG, slightly more than PG, you know.
And I don't even want to get into the debate right now, but I still think that they should have one champion.
Yeah, let's not get into that. This show's already going to be long enough with the 2 interviews and the drawing and let's not get into that. All right. Are we done with WWE talk for this week?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Shall we move on to Impact?
Sure.
All right. First thing I want to talk about is AJ Styles. We called it.
Yeah.
It said that AJ was either going to be still the lone wolf or he was going to be part of Team TNA. Well, it appears as though he's still going to be the lone wolf. Right. He did not join Aces and Eights, so...
How'd you think that angle played off?
I don't know. I didn't like it. I guess
there
because...
was something about it. It was just off.
It was off.
Like he waited too long to turn on the Aces and Eights.
Yeah, and maybe he waited so long just to swerve us into thinking that there wasn't going to be the swerve, you know. Like, it's funny because the way it was set up like a classical swerve, but the swerve would have been to not swerve us.
Right.
You know, that almost happened, but I still didn't buy it, and it still, you know, turned out the way everybody thought it was going to turn out. You know?
Yeah, it's like...
it wasn't well done.
Yeah, an Angle came out, and I was thinking, okay, something's going to happen to Angle, but he's going to save Angle, but then why would he be fighting Angle at the pay-per-view?
Exactly.
So that whole thing didn't...
And, you know, that goes back to the thing that you were talking about last week. Hulk Hogan is the general manager, and he could just say, all right, well, you don't have to be on our side. AJ, go fight Devon or whoever. Yeah. Like, he doesn't have to have his loyalty to make him fight.
Yeah.
You know? So, I don't know. This is kind of turning into a little bit of a car wreck. Not fully, not 100% there yet, but it's like...
They need to... You know what needs to save this Ace and Eights thing?
What's that?
Is they need to find out what they're going... The power, the chain of command, the powers that be. They need to figure out who has power to do what.
You mean in the Aces and Eights or in TNA?
Everything.
Okay.
Well,
I think the chain of command is pretty clear in the Aces and Eights.
Well, no, not okay. Well, not Aces and Eights because it's Bully. You know, Bully.
Yeah.
I'm talking about matchmaking and shit like that.
Okay, so you mean in TNA?
Yeah.
Like Dixie, Hogan, whatever,
right.
Sting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think...
Because I think that's the whole one thing that's holding everything back is like, why doesn't Hogan just fire the fuckers, you know, or just tell them to fight each other or something?
Or why doesn't Dixie fucking fire Hogan? Because Hogan let all of this happen during his watch.
Yeah, there's no, like I'm saying, NWO made sense because Eric Bischoff was the power and he was the one behind everything. Mm-hmm. That made sense.
Yeah.
As crazy as that was, that made sense for the time.
Yeah, because with this, the way it is now, it's just so logical that TNA management can just take away the contracts of all the people that are in Aces and Eights. Like,
why did they let them come out through the back? Why didn't they have them come out through the entrance?
Yeah, and you know, they obviously are still wrestling by wrestling rules. You know, you get a DQ if this happens, and you know, you put your title on the line. They're not like totally outlaws. So you know, I don't know, man. It's I
mean, at the very least, when bust out the ball peen hammer on somebody, at least like have them announce that they got fined or something, or some kind of disciplinary action.
Yeah.
Because they are it can't be a secret that they're contracted wrestlers, right?
Right.
The TNA?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
It's not a secret though. I mean, they're contracted wrestlers, so
Okay.
I don't know.
It's not like ACH has their own contracts for the wrestlers. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or are we supposed to believe?
I mean, that kind of goes back to the thing when, what's his name? D'Lo got fired. He got fired from, TNA management position, but, he's still a contracted wrestler. Like, why couldn't you just fire him from everything? And especially now that he's in the doghouse with Aces and Eights anyway, fire the fool. But whatever. I don't know. I had such high hopes for the Aces and Eights storyline. Was it like a month ago or something when Bully first, got the title? And now it's like starting to kind of go back the other way. The pendulum swinging back the other way. We're starting to go south again.
It's a good analogy, the pendulum, yeah. But
thank you.
did you see the one little? Did you catch that about him and Brooke?
About him saying, "Oh, I still love you," and this and that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was laying it on real thick.
I couldn't tell if that was a Sims being an asshole or if that was him like luring her back and then she's gonna turn on TNA or Hogan or whatever.
Maybe. I don't know.
Like a whole Stephanie and Vince thing,
I don't know, and at this point I don't care. Not yet, anyway.
Yeah.
Because it seemed as though you could just write it off like, oh, he's just being an asshole.
Right. Yeah.
But at the same time, it could be that he really does have feelings for her, but so? I don't know.
Because he's an asshole, so.
Because he's an asshole.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move away from that and go into something else that was kind of interesting. The whole thing with the Sting and Joseph Park and when they were talking backstage.
Yes.
What do you think of all that?
I liked it, just the fact that it answered one question that we had last week.
Okay.
Which was, do the other wrestlers, kayfabe-wise, do they know that they're the same person?
That Abyss and Joseph Park are the same person.
And that, I think, answered the question.
Mm-hmm.
Just because that one little bit where...
It was subtle. You had to catch it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. When Sting asked if, he was talking to Joseph Park and he said, hey, I really would like if you can get Abyss to come tag with me next week.
Yeah, if you could talk to your brother.
Yeah, if you talk to your brother, have him come out, and he's like, oh, well, he doesn't really talk to me, He's my brother, I like to talk to him, and Sting just kind of put his head down, and he's kind of said, oh, you're gonna kayfabe me on this one, are you?
Yeah.
So it was just one little phrase that he did. That's what got you. That's when okay, the wrestlers know something's up.
Presumably. I mean,
Presumably.
we could be reading a little bit too much into it. He could have just said, oh, well, you're just kayfabing me that you can't talk to your brother. But at the same time...
I took it as...
Yeah.
Sting knows they're the same person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So...
And he even said, okay, well, if you can't bring Abyss, can you bring someone else like him?
Yeah.
I wonder if that's alluding to...
what you were saying last week about Park and Park.
Yeah, there's gonna be a third...
The three faces of Park.
Yeah, there's gonna be a third one at some point in time.
Yeah.
If TNA follows up correctly with this.
Right. Gimmick infringement right there. As if Abyss wasn't enough gimmick infringement.
How have they not been sued yet? I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Okay. One thing that's kind of not really part of the whole Aces and Eights and Sting and Hogan thing that's going on in TNA, that's pretty cool, pretty good. This is a tag division, all the stuff going on with the tag teams and whatnot. And, there was going to be that four corners tag match, at the pay-per-view. But then we heard that James Storm got injured. So we all thought James Storm wasn't going to be in there with his secret partner. And it appears as though they're still going through with it. So I guess he's not as injured as we thought.
Because was that this last week's episode, was that live or was that tape?
I thought it was a live one. I mean, I'm not sure. It could have been a tape one because, they alternate and I kind of lost track, but I thought that was a live episode.
I thought it was too. I thought that was the first time they're from Tampa.
Yeah.
So this coming week should be in Tampa too. But.
Yeah, should be.
So maybe something happens on... Well,
This
no,
week's
because
episode?
it would already been, I don't know.
I don't know. We'll see what happens on Thursday, but let's just... we might be wrong about this. If we're wrong, send us hate mail. It's fine. But it appears as though Storm is still going to be wrestling at the pay-per-view in that tag match, and we found out who his secret partner is going to be. And it's going to be...
Robbie E.
No.
Shark Boy.
No. It's going to be Gunner.
Did who?
Gunner.
Oh.
Okay. How do you feel about this? I know how I feel about it, but I'm going to let you go first.
Well, when you said Gunner, I said who, so.
Okay, well.
But, I don't know. It's cool, I guess. I don't know. It's weird. TNA has a weird way of bringing back wrestlers that people don't really... Personally, I never really cared about Gunner.
Okay.
In the first place.
No, that's fair.
So, what's your thing?
I like it. I like it a lot, and
Okay.
here's why.
All right.
I think Gunner is a really good fit character-wise and in-ring-wise for James Storm. I kind of agree with you, and I see where you're coming from saying that you didn't really care about him before. Okay, granted, I kind of feel a little bit the same way too. But I think that if this were to be a tag team that stuck around for a while, I think James Storm could get him over. We'll see him as a face, which we haven't seen before. We've seen Gunner pretty much as a heel this whole time. Mm-hmm. And I think it would be kind of a good role for James Storm to have, to be more of the mentor type thing. Mm-hmm. Because, they were talking about James Storm and how great of a tag team competitor he is. Well, when he was with AMW, it was him and AMW trying to break the glass ceiling, getting themselves and getting TNA over, and it was them rising. And then, after that was over, Storm and Rude it was more like, well, we're kind of been around for a while, we have our own characters, and we're just the odd couple team that just made it, I think in this team, with Gunner and Storm could play a different role, and kind of get the younger guy over, in Gunner, and kind of just further his career, but solidify himself a little bit more as like the lead guy, but also have, Gunner be like this guy that he's bringing up and coming. So it kind of puts him in like a different light and a different dynamic. Yeah, it's another tag team that James Storm is in, but I think since it's a different flavor on it and different twist on it, I think it's good. And I think they can mesh well together and they'll have good matches.
So you have high hopes for this?
I do. I have high hopes.
Okay.
Whether or not those hopes will be realized, well, that's a different story. We'll have to wait and see. But right now, I'm optimistic about it.
All right. Well, the only other thing I want to add to that whole thing is, if one more person debuts or returns from a break with a god-awful beard, overgrown, shaggy, I'm gonna scream. I'm gonna throw something on my TV. I'm gonna do something bad. Goddamn, what, Gunner? Got Matt Morgan. Mm-hmm. We got, Eric, when Eric Young came back, he had this nasty thing on his face.
Yeah.
D-Bry, as much as everybody loves D-Bry, that thing's gotta go. I'm tired. I'm sorry. I know there's like 15 other guys I'm just overlooking right now.
Edge? I mean, I know that was a long time ago, but whenever Edge made
that
his
was
comebacks,
before the beard trim. That's okay, and he worked it pretty good. He had it trimmed up. Mm-hmm. It would grow out a little bit, and he would shave it.
Yeah.
But D-Bry started it, and like it seems like everybody's just coming out with full grown beard.
Well, there's just two types of people in the world.
Huh.
There's people with beards, and then there's women.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's getting ridiculous.
Okay, all right.
And plus, Gunner's is all nappy looking.
And here I am sitting with a full freaking beard, all gnarly.
Look like a hobo over here.
Yeah, my hobo beard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And your hair and your face and your clothes.
Yes, shut up. All right, one last thing from Impact that I want to hit on. There was a title change. Mickie James is now the Knockouts champ. She defeated Velvet Sky. Mm-hmm. And we've been talking about this for a little while. I'm smelling a Mickie James heel turn, and I think it was more pronounced this last Impact than any other episode that we've seen so far. And I'm almost willing to say, yeah, she's heel now.
Oh, I think it's still more of a slow burn.
Still, it's not
I think
quite
maybe,
there yet.
I think 1 or 2 more weeks and we're there.
Yeah.
Because there was, a couple spots in the match. She slapped her in the face, and of course at the very end, she saw the knee was hurting, so she tackled the knee. Mm-hmm. Had a little grin. It looked like a little grin when she did that.
Yeah.
And then she went and finished her off. But it wasn't a full on heel turn for me. It's more or less.
Yeah.
It's more or less she got the job done. Mm-hmm. Any means necessary type thing.
Yeah.
That's the way it felt to me.
Yeah. Well, I think all the stuff that happened before when she was backstage with Velvet, like, oh, you're taping your knee, you don't have to take the match, it's fine, whatever, like, you're sure, and like just being like really buttering her up,
right,
you know, and just being overly sympathetic towards Velvet Sky, and then just being vicious and relentless on the knee. I think the juxtaposition of those two events there just really makes it feel more heelish than what it would normally be. Like, if you were just to look at the match and be like, oh, well, it was just any means necessary. Yeah, but, you know, I mean, she really was playing it up before the match, you know. She was really, you know, laying it on thick, you know. So, I don't know, maybe maybe for me it seems a little bit more of a heel turn, but I will agree that it's not, like, 100% there yet. It's almost there.
No, I think I could see it. Like I said, like 1 or 2 more weeks. Maybe this coming up episode. Maybe they do a little in-ring promo together, and then she attacks with the belt or something.
Yeah,
and that's it. You know,
and then bam, heel Mickie James, which we haven't seen in forever.
Yeah,
I'm down.
The only thing with that is Gail Kim, the only apparent heel knockout they have right now. She's wanting to go after the title too, but she's
Tara too.
Tara's out.
Is she? She hasn't been around. Is she injured or something?
Yeah, she's out for a while.
Oh, damn.
If she's even come back, I don't know.
Okay.
But Gail's going after the title, but at the same time, she's in a little mini feud right now with Taryn.
Yeah.
So that's going to keep her preoccupied right now. But, you know, we have a heel going after the...
There's always 3 ways.
Ooh.
3 ways in the knockouts division.
Hey, speaking of 3 ways, there was Suicide. He came back.
You know what? When you brought up the thing about comebacks with beards, what I thought you were going to say was how you were annoyed with comebacks that are kind of lackluster. You know, and Suicide's an example. You know, they just kind of mentioned it the week before a little bit, and then the week of this past week, they just ran a vignette they just ran a vignette, and then he just came out. He didn't do the zip line. They didn't do the lights. They didn't make that big of a deal of it. It's like, hey, guess what? Suicide's coming back, and there he is. You know?
Well, it's a fucking video game character. I mean,
well, I know, but I mean, this was a trend, and you brought it up before about who was it that you brought it up before about a couple of weeks ago?
No.
It wasn't Shelley. It was someone else before Shelley. I mean, excuse me, Sabin. It wasn't Sabin. It was someone else before Sabin that you were like, oh, this guy made a return, but nobody cared.
Petey.
Yeah, Petey. Yeah, Petey and Dutt.
And Dutt, yeah.
Yeah, Dutt, Petey, Suicide. I mean, they kind of did a big deal about Sabin.
Who do you think's playing Suicide now?
I don't know, but
I'm thinking,
it's not Christopher Daniels.
No, I'm thinking...
it's not Kaz either.
No, I'm thinking it's Dutt.
You think it's Sanjay?
Yeah. The reason I think there was a couple spots that I saw him do the way he was moving in a couple spots, and there was that one little thing where he did an Irish whip on the ropes, or someone Irish whipped him on the ropes, and he like clung onto the ropes there.
Okay.
He latched onto the ropes.
Yeah.
That and some of the movements he was doing outside, it kind of reminded me reminiscent of Sanjay. So
okay.
I could be totally wrong. I could be just totally off.
Listeners, if Travis is wrong, let him know.
And I'll blame Mabel.
I didn't say a damn thing. All right. Are we done with WWE and Impact talk?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. We have our very, very special guest interview to get to from ROH, none other than ACH. So, you know what? I think we should go ahead and get on into that right now. What do you think, Travis?
Oh, sure. Why not?
Okay, let's go ahead and pull him up, get him on the old horn here, and we're going to talk to ACH. All right, everybody, here we are with our special guest for this week. He is the last dragon. He is also the last hero. He is a big-time indie star here in the great state of Texas, and he's also taking that now to a more national scale in Ring of Honor Wrestling. He is all attitude, charisma, and heart. He is A.C.H. ACH, welcome to the show, man. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you guys for having me, man. I'm looking to do this interview, get it on, get it popping, have some fun, talk some gaming, talk a little bit of everything.
Awesome.
All right, sounds like my kind of guy here.
Yeah, he's like one of us,
Well,
Well, maybe more like you.
Yeah, more like me. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just a wrestling nerd.
Yeah.
You're a nerd for everything.
That's right. Yeah.
All right. We're already getting to a great start here.
I think
All
so,
right.
yeah.
Okay, well, tell you what, man, I got a couple of questions here lined up that I'd like to ask you. And of course, if we veer off a little bit, it's all good. But let's go ahead and get started with some of the things that I like to ask everybody that we interview here. I want to know, when was it that you first started watching wrestling? And when you did, who were your favorites? What did you like to watch?
I started watching wrestling right around the time when Hulk Hogan went to Hollywood. That's when I started to watch. That's when I started to watch wrestling. I was a big WCW fan growing up. I was not a WWF fan growing up.
Uh-oh.
All the kids would go. Yeah, all the kids would go to school talk. I've been, Stone Cold like this and this big man, blah, blah, blah. And I was kind of just like, I guess, religiously be at the W. Well, I wasn't religiously or anything, but I was really happy when, I was one of those kids, it sucked. You watch it now, you're like, good God, I was a fan of this. And you watch it, but back then, it was a world to me. It was like Ultimate Dragon, Diamond Dallas Page was my favorite. The one I like, Glacier.
That fits.
I can see you liking Glacier.
Yeah, it was the entrance, man.
I know.
It was the entrance. It was the entrance.
It's always the damn entrance.
Yeah, it was. And then you got to think about it too. Around that time, Mortal Kombat was like watching Sub-Zero, the wrestler.
Well, that I think that's going to be a great transition there for something else I was wanting to ask you. You have such a unique in-ring style. You pull together so many different aspects of wrestling and so many different aspects of pop culture. Who all were your influences for your unique in-ring style that you got right now?
I wanted to think a lot of my ideas come from my childhood, which, wrestling got banned quite a bit in my house. Obviously, I think a lot of kids go through that phase where, their parents or their mom or dad is like, no wrestling, mostly moms. But wrestling was actually banned in my childhood for a little over, certain periods of time. And, I was always heavily into, superheroes and just video games. And I've always just had, a big imagination when it comes to things. I guess it has a lot to do with my personality, which, I have, personality, some people say. But, my imagination is probably the biggest influence. And mostly Dragon Ball Z as well, which kind of falls into my, my whole imagination in childhood. But, I couldn't really name one particular wrestler and say, oh, this is guys who I patterned myself off of. Because I've always been the type where I always okay, I want to do something, a class of my own. I always want to be different. I want to stand out different. So I try not to pattern myself from anyone. And I always try to, have my own unique style. So I use things that, most people didn't use. I use video games,
Yeah.
All Z, I watch anime cartoons and I go, oh, it'd be really cool if someone did this. Like when I used to do the Liu Kang kicks, I was like, man, it'd be really cool to do. Just flew in the air and just gave you multiple kicks. And someone was like, oh yeah, too bad no one could ever do that. I actually tried it. It worked.
That move is really cool. I really enjoyed that move. There is another one that kind of reminded me, and I don't know if you pulled this from here, but when I see it, I kind of think of it. There's a move that you do where your opponent's sitting up in the middle of the ring and you bounce off the ropes and you kind of walk over them. And that kind of reminded me of a move from Tekken. Did you get that from Tekken?
Oh, I run up there and then I hit the ropes, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's Sonic. I do. The name of that move was Up, Over, and Gone because I'm a huge Sonic fan.
Sonic? I was thinking that was
exactly
Tekken.
What you talking about? What's up?
I would not have guessed Sonic, but yeah, now that you say that, yes, that's absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yes, no. The move you're talking about, I think either Hong or I can't never pronounce his name. The guy that does the Taekwondo.
Harong.
Yeah, Harong, and then Lee also does a move similar to that in Tekken as well. But no, that's a Sonic move because it's up, over, and gone. I love Sonic, man. Love the blue hedgehog.
That's awesome. Sonic was like my favorite when I was a kid too.
Hey, let me ask you. Okay, so for fighting games, what was yours? Was it Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, or Tekken?
Ooh, and I've never been in Mortal Kombat just because of the fighting, the buttons. I never was able to pull off the combinations and the combos and stuff. And it's always hard to me. Whenever you play Mortal Kombat, you get paused.
Yeah.
They gave you really good, hey, this is how you do this. This is how you, pretty much have to, learn from word of mouth, go to school. Someone goes, oh, yeah, I learned how to do this by pressing all the buttons.
Right.
But to me, Mortal Kombat's not even, I stand Mortal Kombat. Well, actually, I was a big fan of Mortal Kombat 6, the one that they had for 64. I was a big fan of that.
Yeah.
But Tekken and Street Fighter, man, that's amazing. And Tekken 4 is even great. Even better.
You playing the Street Fighter versus Tekken games?
Actually, a wrestler that one of my best friends, he has it, Davey Vega. He has it, and I've played it, and I liked it, but I'd rather pick the Tekken fighting style or button style over the Street Fighter. Because to me, it feels more fluid.
Yeah, that's that I would agree with you on that one. I definitely like Tekken, the Tekken fighting style more than the Street Fighter style. And that's just me. And I was waiting for the Tekken version of Tekken versus Street Fighter to come out, but hasn't come out yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was I think it was supposed to come out this year or last year, if I'm not mistaken.
They've been pushing that thing so far back. I don't know what's going on with that thing. But
I don't think they're gonna have.
Yeah.
Never and I love it. Not to take away from Street Fighter, but I never really got good at Street Fighter until I got older. Because when I was younger, I was ADD and I was hyperactive, so I didn't want to sit there and you gotta rotate. And me, I wasn't a button masher, but I was one of those guys where I like to press a button to make it look like I'm doing it. Tekken gives me really good Tekken, I used to take my PlayStation 2 to school, and we would do tournaments in class. Yeah, show you how the Texas system works.
That's dedication right there.
We would play Tekken, and one of my friends would hold the controller legit upside down and play Tekken. It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. And then you have the guys that play Tekken, they don't hold it normally. They hold it, they play with their finger and their middle finger. That's how they play. It's weird. Tekken makes anyone look legit. Anyone can look like they're a good gamer on Tekken.
Was he just trying to be weird, or was that dude left-handed or something?
Hey! Let's watch the left-handed.
Oh, I know you're left-handed, but I mean.
I don't know. I think that was just the way he was. I guess he was left-handed. I don't know. That was just the way he played. But you could tell someone's a really good Tekken player when they play with their pointing finger and their index finger. Which is legit because you can hit the buttons a lot faster than you could with the one that's just playing with it. But then again, I've mastered that in my opinion.
Yeah, well, I mean that's how they did. You'd have to play it at the arcades with your index and your middle finger. You can't play it in the arcades with your thumb. So if they're doing that style, they're probably in the arcades, and if they're in the arcades, they're probably damn good.
And you don't want to play them, right?
Yeah.
And again, in Tekken though, this is the only thing I like about Tekken is the way that the characters are designed, which it's legit true fighting styles, but there's certain players that can play characters that are good in certain areas. Like me, one of my favorite characters was Steve Fox.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you sit there and just press the square and the triangle button, which are the punch button, you can look like you know what you're doing. If you just move around, you'll do everything in the book. Just the same goes with all wrong. If you just play with him and you hit the X and the O button, it's the key button, and you're gonna look great. Oh, you throw a couple of punches in there, you look like you know what you're doing. That's the only thing I don't like about Tekken. Other than that, it's probably one of the best fighting games.
Oh man. That's hilarious. All right, but
it's true. It's true. Look, I'm sorry to say, okay, when you go to a list of people and you ask them, what's their favorite character in Tekken? They'll say, oh, Eddie Guerrero. Why? Because he does all this cool shit and it's easier to play with him.
Yeah, Eddie was cheap, man.
That's Abel's favorite character, by the way.
No, Harang was my favorite character, but basically because of what he just said. You only press 2 buttons and you look like you're a badass. But I hated Eddie. All right.
Eddie was a cheat. Eddie, see me, I played with more of your like complicated play, like most with Wet Steve Fox, but I actually was pretty good at it because I could dodge. Like when you press the kick buttons with him, he could actually dodge. And I actually mastered on countering people. Like my brother used to play with Harlang. I used to dodge his kicks. And it would irritate him. I believe after 3, he changed his style to judo. So it was a lot of parries, a lot of, counterattacks. So like I also mastered jiu. Yeah, I'm an expert at Tekken if you couldn't tell.
Man, you get this guy started talking on Tekken and man, he just goes off.
So let's get this back into wrestling talk here.
Yeah, this is wrestling radio. Yeah, let's get it back here to the wrestling for a second.
After the show, we'll go back to video games and comic books.
Oh hell, maybe after the show at San Antonio, we'll just get together and start playing some Tekken.
Bring your PS2.
Bring your PS2, dude.
You guys don't want that.
Oh, okay.
All right.
And the sad thing about it is, you don't have to be a gamer to like Tekken. I've met people that don't like video games but love Tekken.
You know what? Challenge accepted. We'll see you there.
Oh, yeah, there you go. You're throwing down the gauntlet. Oh man, you know what, man? Your attitude feels very Austin to me. And that's a compliment. The whole thing about Austin is keep Austin weird. And, they're a different town. And I could see that in you, especially after this conversation we just had about Tekken. And, I'd like to ask you this. Working in Texas, in Austin, San Antonio, that area and all that, what was it like going out to all the different places around the country? How is the indie scene different than the indie scene down here in Texas?
Thank you, because I'm from both areas, San Antonio and Austin. I've been around both. I've been up and down 35 for a very long time. But in Texas, everything is a little bit more vocal. Like as far as like the fan interaction, like in ring and everything. Like, you cannot be the best. You could be, like, the worst wrestler in the world in Texas, and people will still love you for, like, if you're funny or whatnot. But, like, in the East Coast, in most places, they really appreciate the wrestling aspect of wrestling. And a lot of people in Texas, they'll be a fan that love to see you wrestle in Texas, but there, it's a lot more different. Like, my first excursion out to the Midwest for St. Louis Anarchy, I was just talking, laughing, having a Ninja Turtle shirt on, doing my whole thing. I never get this guy that's like, who's your guy? Just looks at me and he goes, I sure do love your talk, boy. And I just like, oh my goodness. I was like, what? And, to me, it was like, this guy's like, 50 years old? Why would he care about my wrestling? They want to see you wrestle. Like, they want to see your work rate, I guess, which is weird, but that's what they want to see. They want to see if you can wrestle before they accept you as anything else.
So I guess you're saying it's easier to maybe get over down here in Texas?
No, I wouldn't say that because there's a lot. I don't know, man. That's a tough one because well,
let me put you this way.
That was a really good question. Like, I wrestled when I was back home. I wrestled in almost every major, except El Paso. No, I never wrestled in El Paso. Been to, Dallas, Fort Worth, Corpus, Houston, Dallas, Austin, obviously, and San Antonio, so I've been to the major ones. And then I've also been to, like, the little towns in between as well, even on Alaska, Texas. You probably didn't even know that existed.
That's a new one to me.
It's like, I don't know, it's really hard to say, man, because everybody is different. I always had like a really weird connection with the people. Like, you know, to me, it doesn't hurt me to like the way that we were just having a, you know, a regular conversation. And I think it's the problem with a lot of guys. Like, they try to separate, you know, from their life. And to me, it's like, dude, like, wrestling kind of is my life, which will probably kill me in the end. But yeah, it's no big deal. But, you know, it's why a lot of people came into liking of me, because like, when I'm out there, it's like you're just having so much fun. It's like one big party when you're out there, and everybody just wants to join in on you, you know? Versus those guys that come up there, it's like, this is my job, this is what I do, I wrestle. Wrestle is my life, this is my passion. And I don't want to take those guys that are screaming at and posting Facebook and stuff like that. Those are the guys that usually don't do anything. They take it too serious. You gotta have fun at work, man. You can't always go to work serious with your pants held up high. I mean, it's different. I mean, okay, so but you're familiar a little bit with Texas indie scene, correct?
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, have you ever heard of a guy named Gabe the Babe?
I don't think so.
What was the name?
Gabe the Babe. He's very well known because he wears a Care Bear outfit. A Pete Care Bear outfit.
I've heard of this guy. I haven't seen him, but I've heard of that guy. Yeah.
That guy was I broke in. He broke in like maybe a year, 2 years before me. But like that guy he just had a certain connection with the crowd. How this has to really relate to your question, but like, I don't know. Like, honestly, I couldn't tell you if it was easy. I think, okay, if I'm going to have to go on over now to answer your question, I'm sorry. I talk very sporadically. But I think it's a lot harder to get over in the East Coast, because I've wrestled in front of your harsh crowds, like CCW, and where, you know, they're used to blood, guts, and tears, or whatever, mostly blood and guts. But, you know, sometimes you want out there, you know, being funny is not what they want to see. Like, they have to warm up to you, and if they don't warm up to you, they'll just destroy you, and they'll eat you alive every time they get a chance to.
All right, so basically, you know, it's a little bit tougher in the Northeast, you're saying, because, you know, they care more about, you know, the in-ring stuff, and, you know, so it's a little bit tougher there. But, you know, you're working up there in the Northeast now, and, you know, you work down here, and it seems to us anyway that you are getting over. So that's really great, and I don't see why not. I mean, you definitely do have that in-ring ability to get those fans to, you know, kind of get on your side there. So it's really cool that you're starting to do this. And, you know, now that you've, you know, signed with ROH, I bet that's, you know, a really cool thing for you. Let me ask you, now that you're there in ROH, who would you have liked to bring along with you from like down here in the Texas indie scene? Who do you miss working with, and who do you think deserves to be wrestling with you up there?
I mean, there's a lot of guys back home, you know, that deserve it, you know. I mean, just to name a few, you know, you got guys like, Jacobs Pliskin, you know, Jasper, the Hammer Davis works really hard. He's out of Houston.
Yeah, Jasper, he's the Booker T ROW champ right now, and you know, we see him every month, and yeah, he's great.
Oh wow, yeah, he definitely deserves it. Man, he's really good. Bo Brady, there was a guy that I came in with. I don't even think he wrestles anymore, but man, if he would have kept with it, like he would have definitely deserved it. Mr. Wright, Amos, he was really, really good. It was me and him. We broke in at the same time, maybe like a year before him. But he had so much talent, man. I mean, he was a big Bryan Danielson fan. And he was a technical, like, somewhat, man. For like his little time given in the ring, he could tell you put out if you wanted. He was really good. But there's a lot of guys, you know, back home, back here, you know, that deserve to be on the national spot, or, you know, who I feel personally, you know, be doing bigger and better things.
Definitely. I'd like to see, you know, some of those guys, that we see down here. You know, like you mentioned Jasper, and then, you know, Jacobs Pliskin. I've seen some of his stuff, you know, on YouTube. I haven't seen him live. But yeah, there's a lot of dudes that I think it'd be really cool if they were to, you know, kind of get to that same level that you're at right now. But, well, let me throw a different question at you, kind of with a different angle on it. now that you're in ROH, who do you look forward to fighting that's already there?
Well, that question was actually answered when they announced me versus Jay Lethal for this Saturday. Jimmy Jacobs is one of them. Eddie Edwards is another. Roderick Strong was actually he was on my list as well, but I actually got to do that in Cincinnati, and I really enjoyed the match. And so was Elgin.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Steen is one of them. I really like to get in the ring with Kevin Steen. To be honest, man, the whole roster, because the roster is so stacked at this point. I got to wrestle Caprice and Alexander with Darius in Canada. That was really fun. I got in the ring with Kiki Marshall. So, I'm just working my way down the list, it seems like. But, all the guys, honestly, man, because, like I said, the roster is so stacked at this point, and it's so many talented guys and so many different styles, and I would really just want to go in there and just, be pushed to my limit, and push them to their limit as well.
Yeah, and you know what? Us as fans, we definitely would like to see that. I think you versus Steen would be really cool. I think that would be a good match. One that I was thinking about just throwing out there would be you and Shelton Benjamin. I think that'd be a good match.
Oh my goodness! Oh my God! That would be like Michael Jordan going one-on-one with Kobe in my opinion. In my eyes, I think Shelton like Michael Jordan of wrestling, but in my eyes, he's my hero. So
That's awesome. We need to make that happen. Book it now.
Who are you talking to?
Well, I don't know, the ROH people that happen to be listening.
No.
Yeah.
Yes, ROH booked that match.
All right. Well, you mentioned it a little bit about, wrestling on, this Saturday, against Jay Lethal, and it's going to be in San Antonio. It's a bit of a homecoming for you. I think that this whole venue for you and that match is just going to be bananas. I bet that crowd there is just going to be off the charts and just crazy excited. I'm sure a lot of people there in San Antonio are going to be excited for it. Let me ask you, how excited are you for this?
Oh, dude, man, I've been asked this question so many times, and I can never really come with an answer for it. I'm speechless, man. To me, this is the homecoming of all homecomings. 1604 is right up the road from Jefferson High School where I work with the school. It's right around my little stomping ground, I guess you could say. So I'm most definitely looking forward to it for many, many reasons. And when I left Texas to move and to go conquer more things in my career, I always look at it as whenever I come back, I always look at it as getting back. And this match, me versus Jay Lethal, was a dream match to a lot of people. And Ring of Honor doing it in my hometown is the best gift I can give these guys in Texas. It's the best thing I can give them as token of my appreciation to say thank you guys for supporting me for all those years that, I was here and going through my hard times. I literally use the people Texas to uplift me, I use them as my motivation to better myself and get myself out of those troubled times that I was in, man. So this is a gift to the great people of San Antonio and the entire state of Texas. This is a gift to you guys, and me and Jay Lee are going to do nothing but kill it, and I'm looking forward to it, man.
Man, that sounds like it's going to be an awesome match, and I can't wait to see it. I'm definitely going to be there to check it out, and I'll be cheering both you and Jay Lethal on, because I like both of you guys. But it's going to be an awesome match, and anybody that's listening to this interview right now and you still got time to buy a ticket and run on out there, you really need to check it out. It's going to be this Saturday in San Antonio, Texas, and it's going to be
Do it at the Sherman Auditorium.
Yeah.
Do
it. Do it. Go. You heard the man. He said, do it. You gotta go right now.
Cancel your plans. Just drop everything.
I don't care if you got a wedding or a funeral to go to. You go into this instead.
You take that casket to the match with you.
Go turn it into a casket match. How crazy would that be?
Oh man, we watch too much wrestling.
All right. Trav, do you have anything else you want to go ahead and add on, man?
Oh man, I think where else do we go from this one, man? Jeez.
I don't know. ACH, bro, anything else you want to add before we wrap it up?
Man, I just want to give a shout out to the best fans ever in any sport, the wrestling fans, man. Wrestling fans are so dedicated and so passionate about, wrestling. And you got your fans that like tailgate football games and basketball and go to games butt naked, half naked in the middle of December when the blazing cold anywhere else. But I think wrestling fans are very loyal. You got to think about it, all the controversial that wrestling as a whole has been through, and for people to still grow up and watch wrestling and still be connected to it, it's the greatest feeling in the world. And I was trolling on Facebook the other day, and I saw a bunch of fans wanted to tailgate the show Saturday. And I hope they do that, man, because I really love barbecue chicken, and I wouldn't mind going out there having to talk with some of the fans, because I pretty much know a great portion of the fans that are coming to the show just because of my connection with the people. But thank you guys so much, man, the fans. That's legit. The Ring of Honor fans, even WCW fans like myself, all the fans, man.
That's awesome, man. I'm going to laugh so hard if I show up there in that parking lot and somebody's going to be there with the tailgate with a big old barbecue pit with some barbecue chicken. That's going to be awesome if that happens.
And ACH is out there eating.
ACH will be out there eating some barbecue
chicken. Sweet. And if I'm not out there, you make sure they save me a drumstick.
Yo, if I see it and you're not out there, I'm sending you a tweet, bro.
Please do so, because dude, you have no idea. I love some chicken. No pun intended.
All right, man. ACH, bro, you're just a really great guy, a really nice guy. I would even say a natural born babyface. You know how to get over with the crowd and over with the people, and you know how to make people love you, and you're just an awesome dude, and I can't wait to just see your career take off even further, go all throughout the ROH roster, become the ROH champ, go on to, all kinds of other crazy things. And I'm so glad that we're kind of getting in kind of on the ground floor of you breaking into the national scene here. And it's really awesome. And, it's really awesome that, you're here from Texas and someone's, made it out to that level. It's just a great, great thing. And, I can't wait to see you on Sunday, bro. Saturday. My bad.
Look, if you see me on Sunday, then it means you're going to the surprise party we're throwing for my grandmother and my father and my mother. So that's what that means.
Well, make sure she ain't listening to this. That way she'll still think it's a surprise.
No, she won't listen. I'm doing a pretty good job. Well, actually, I think my mom knows, because I think I told her when I got up here. But that's okay. My grandmother and my dad will still be surprised, so that's just as good.
There you go.
That'll work. All right. Thanks so much for coming on, man. We definitely got to have you again sometime in the future.
Oh, one more thing. Make sure this Saturday you bring it over 9,000.
Dude, whenever you see me go for the ACH Big Bang Attack, which is the Cradle DT, my dream, and what I'm going to do, we need to put this out there on social networking everywhere. Whenever people see me go for the Big Bang Attack, and I go ACH Big Bang Attack, if I hit it, or even if I go for it, I want the whole crowd to go, it's over 9,000. I want that. That is my dream chant right there. Just to hear
you pull that off.
Yes, I want that. I want to go for the DDT, and I want to hit it and just have the whole crowd go, it's over 9,000. Or I want to call for it and then have the whole crowd go, it's over 9,000. That.
Okay, Abel's gonna get. Abel's gonna get making on that sign right now.
Yeah,
we'll make sure you just pull the move off on Saturday and we'll do the rest. All right?
Yeah. We'll try to make sure that.
Even if it's like I don't know, man. I don't know how the song works, but man, if we can get that going, man, I would pull you guys out of the crowd personally.
All right, you heard it here first on Houston Wrestling Radio. Forget about fandangoing. Forget about that. We need to start doing the over 9,000ing.
Yeah.
That's the newest craze in wrestling. We need to start that up. You heard it here first. Houston Wrestling Radio original.
I'm so glad I said that.
That is the original. I've been wanting to get that out there for a very long time, and now I finally get to get it out there.
That's awesome.
I'm so glad we could be your outlet for that.
All right, man. Well, we got the rest of the show to get to, and we are very appreciative that you gave us this time, man. Thank you so much for coming on. We definitely will do the over 9,000. We'll see you this weekend, and we'll talk to you again soon, man.
Most definitely, man. Thank you guys, man. I had a good time.
All right. Well, that was our interview with old ACH. That was pretty fun, wasn't it, Trav?
We need to have that guy come back more often.
Yeah, definitely. He was real fun. I mean, we had some technical difficulties there with the phones, but I think barring that was a really fun interview. He was a great guy,
Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely.
That was really awesome.
Looking forward to seeing him on Saturday.
Exactly.
And not Sunday.
Right, yeah. Saturday. I'm sorry. I screw that crap up all the time. I'm not good with my days of the week.
It's okay. That's why I'm here to correct
Okay,
you anytime that you make a mistake ever in life.
Thank you, Travis. It's nice to know that you have a purpose.
Hey, what are friends for?
So we're going to be there to check out ACH and Jay Lethal and all the rest of the ROH crew. And there is going to be a certain lucky someone that's going to be able to also go down and check it out for free, because we are giving away a free ticket here. We had a little contest going on between yesterday and today. Oh, whoever already likes our Facebook page and follows us on Twitter and just said, hey, enter me into the contest. Well, we entered you in. So we have our 4 contestants already ready to go, and we have them in the in our little cup here. That's the sound of the cup. I'm not sure if that came over on the.
They get the point.
Yeah, they get the point. Okay, so since I wrote them all down and folded them all up, I think you should probably be the one to draw it out. So you want to draw the lucky winner here for the free ticket to ROH?
No, get him away. Here.
No, okay. Wait, da-da-da-da-da. There you go. Okay. Who is it? Oh, here we go. This is going to be fun. It's none other than Brad Gilmore.
Make sure you didn't write his name down.
No. It was legit. I already took a picture. Yeah, it's everybody else. So, hey, looky, it's Brad, the announcer from Booker T's ROW. He's going to be the one that gets that ticket.
You already got a ticket, man. Come on.
No, he entered the contest. That's why he didn't have a ticket.
Did he say he wanted it? He said he wanted it?
Yes, he did. He specifically said he did. So, there you go. All right, Brad Gilmore. Looks like you are a winner of the free tickets. So, congratulations, and we'll get you your ticket here soon, and we'll get your info and all that good stuff.
Never gonna give him up.
I like that little reference there. Okay, so there you go. Brad, congratulations. We'll see you out there at the show. It's going to be a great time. Thanks for our other listeners who joined in on the fun here for the drawing. Thank you so much for interacting with us. And then maybe sometime in the future we'll have more contests. Maybe we give away more tickets, whatever. We'll try to do this type of thing more often, because it's fun, and we like to try to get back to our fans.
Ta-da.
Ta-da. Thank you for your brilliant commentary there, Travis. Okay, so ROH, all that stuff's this weekend. I'm excited. It's going to be awesome. I think that's about it for this week. Let's go ahead and wrap it up. It was a doozy of an episode. We had on ACH, we had on Scott Steiner, we had a lot of talk for WWE, a lot of talk for Impact, all the stuff that happened with Comicpalooza. Woo!
So don't forget this Saturday, if you're going out to San Antonio, Ring of Honor.
Right.
June 1st. I think you can still get tickets, right? No?
Yeah, I'm sure they're still selling tickets.
Yeah. So go check it out. You'll see us there.
Yeah, indeed. Some good stuff.
But don't let that scare you away.
Right. And remember, over 9,000.
Everybody now.
Yes, everybody. Okay, let's see here. I got a couple other little plugs to get to, like, always. One that I really wanted to bring up was, the Wrestling Chronicle Pile Driver podcast. I think that I forgot to plug them last week, and if I did, I'm sorry. But they contacted us. They're doing another little, pre-recorded commercial type plug for us, so that's pretty cool. So thank you for doing that out there,
Seems
guys.
to be the thing to do now. Maybe we need to do that.
Yeah, we need to probably do those. Yeah, I mean, because Shining Wizards, they started doing that a while ago. They gave us one of those little commercials. That was pretty cool. So
trendsetters over there.
yeah, they are. So check those guys out. Also check out Wrestling Heels. They interviewed Jake the Snake Roberts this past week.
Oh wow.
Yeah, pretty cool. Awesome stuff. So, listen to those guys. Go on to, WrestlingHeels.com and check them out on Facebook, on Twitter, at Wrestling Heels. Let's see, what else do we have here to plug? Of course, our friends over at Stoppage Time, the football podcast covering the Houston Dynamo. Check them out on iTunes, and that would be at H&H Stoppage Time. Actually, that's their Twitter. I'm sorry, but they're on iTunes. God, it's getting late.
You're losing it, man.
I am losing it. I'm exhausted. Let's see what else we got here. Aaron, don't forget Aaron. Now that Comicpalooza is over, he has a little bit more free time to do freelance stuff. So if you have any logos that you need made, t-shirt designs that you want drawn up for you, he's the guy to go to. Check him out on Twitter at MeanAaronG. And of course, our friends at Our World Order, they should be coming out with a new EP at the end of next month. So they'll have some new music, so that'd be pretty cool. And they're always going on tour and having shows all around town. So check them out. Go to their Facebook page, and it's easy to find them. Just search for Our World Order. And then, of course, on Twitter at Our World Order.
You sure?
I'm sure.
Okay.
I think that was everybody. Oh, no, that's not everybody. How could I forget? Max, Wrestling with Subtitles. Some very interesting and exciting information coming out of their camp. WWE has agreed to put subtitles on the next 3 of their DVDs that are coming out. So that's pretty awesome. I think that's great. And maybe we'll get to have Max on the show here pretty soon, maybe in the next couple of weeks or so. I mean, we're kind of booked up here, got some other guests coming on, but we'll definitely try to have him on as soon as we can. That's awesome that, this whole little, I don't know, movement, I guess you could say, kind of did something here. We got TNA putting subtitles on DVDs, and now WWE is following suit, so that's really, really awesome.
Yeah. Score 1 for the little guys, right?
Yes. I'm not that little, though.
Yeah.
No.
I was talking about you.
You're a little guy. Yeah.
Well, it's the point is that Max did something no one else could. So
Exactly.
there you go. That's the point I was trying to make.
That's the point. Yes.
And you had to go in here and throw in bodies and weights and stuff.
I'm just trying to be funny.
That was funny.
Jeez. Okay. That's it, folks. Next week, we're going to have a great show. We're going to review the ROH show in San Antonio. Hopefully, we'll have some really great stories to come out of that. And, we may also have another sneak interview, coming out of that. Who knows? We'll let you know. And, it's going to be another fun episode, I think. We're kind of running on fumes here, but, we're doing some really cool stuff here, I think. So check us out next week. It's going to be a great show. Why are you looking at me like that, Travis?
Oh, I was waiting for you to do your thing.
Oh, I'm doing my thing, but you look like you had something to say.
I ain't got nothing to say.
You never do.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for listening and tuning in today, guys. Let your friends know. Listen to us next week. Go to ROH. Go to indie wrestling shows and just be awesome, okay? Adios, my friends. Keep it classy.